military identifies 2 deceased hostages among those returned from Gaza, returns 45 Palestinian bodies. The Israeli military announced on Tuesday, October 14, that it had identified the remains of 2 captives from Gaza whose bodies were returned to Israel. This came just after a wave of jubilant celebrations on Monday, following the release of the final 20 living hostages under a ceasefire agreement. The 2 identified victims were Gayalaz and Bipin Joshi, part of the 28 hostages believed to have died during their captivity. According to the ceasefire terms, Hamas had committed to returning the bodies of the deceased captives by Monday. However, the agreement acknowledged the challenges in recovering the bodies due to the widespread destruction in Gaza. The region, once highly urbanized, has been left in ruins following years of intense Israeli airstrikes. In case Hamas couldn't fulfill the return of all remains, the deal outlined the formation of a joint task force, which would include the U.S. and other mediators, to assist in locating the bodies and share intelligence. Some Israeli officials and families have voiced criticism over Hamas' failure to return more of the remains. Defense Minister Israel Katz blamed Hamas for failing to honor its obligations but refrained from suggesting immediate military action, indicating the ceasefire would still hold. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, released a statement on Tuesday confirming that forensic testing had identified the bodies of Gayalaz, Joshi, and 2 other hostages. Their families were subsequently notified that the remains had been brought back to Israel for burial. Boost your sleep with AirSense 11 to 20% off now. ResMed. Better sleep for your golden years. ResMed. The IDF also shared intelligence indicating that Gayalaz was captured alive by Hamas forces after attempting to flee the attack on the Nova Music Festival near Reem on October 7, 2023. He had been heading toward the Tel Gamma area at the time of his abduction. Meanwhile, the Nasser Medical Center in Gaza reported on Tuesday, October 14, that Israel handed over the bodies of 45 Palestinians that had been held in its custody. The transfer took place under a ceasefire agreement brokered by U.S. President Donald Trump, which stipulates that Israel will return 15 Palestinian bodies for each deceased Israeli repatriated. A day earlier, Hamas had handed over the remains of 3 Israelis and 1 Nepalese national as part of the exchange.